Personal boundaries are a key element for maintaining our mental health and well-being. They are the internal limits we set to protect our emotional and psychological health. Setting these boundaries helps us distinguish what is acceptable to us and what is not, protecting us from exhaustion, stress, or frustration. Healthy boundaries mean that we recognize and protect our own needs without hurting or ignoring others. On the other hand, when our boundaries are unclear or we are afraid to express them, it can lead to being manipulated or taken advantage of, which negatively impacts our mental health. Sometimes it is difficult to distinguish between standing up for oneself and egoism or narcissism. Healthy boundaries are not about ignoring others or disregarding their feelings. On the contrary, they are built on mutual respect for both ourselves and others. Healthy boundaries are about protecting our emotions, time, and energy, while also recognizing that it is not right to constantly demand the world to adapt only to our needs. In contrast, egoism and narcissism focus solely on one's own benefit, without considering how our actions affect others. Narcissists often ignore others' feelings and needs because they believe the world revolves around them. Egoism can be seen as selfish behavior, where no other interests but our own are taken into account. Healthy boundaries are demonstrated in the ability to say no when needed, with respect for both ourselves and others. This does not mean being harsh or inconsiderate, but rather being aware of our needs and clearly communicating them. For example, if someone asks for help, but you know you don't have the time or energy, it is perfectly fine to say, "Unfortunately, I can't help right now. I have a full schedule, but thank you for understanding." This shows that you are respecting your boundaries without rejecting the other person unnecessarily or unfairly. Healthy boundaries also mean that we can say no when something offered does not align with our values or needs, while expressing it respectfully towards the other person. If you respond to a request with criticism or aggression, such as, "Why do you keep bothering me with these demands?" a healthy response could be, "I understand this might be important to you, but right now I don't have the time or energy to focus on it. Could we discuss this later?" This response shows that you respect the other person's needs, but you are also clearly communicating your own boundaries without being hurtful or aggressive. Setting boundaries does not mean creating a wall or expressing aggression, shouting, or anger. It is not about defensiveness or closing ourselves off. On the contrary, it is an energetic game where we stand strong in our values, inner power, and balance. Healthy boundaries are an expression of our inner calm and strength, where we clearly stand for our needs and respect the needs of others. This strength does not require shouting or fighting. It is about calm, firm, and assertive communication, allowing us to live in harmony with ourselves and others. When we have healthy boundaries, we are not weak or hostile. Rather, we are strong in what we need, while being capable of respecting others' space and needs. On the other hand, unhealthy responses are often a reflection of not respecting both our own and others' boundaries. For example, if someone repeatedly asks for something you know you cannot or do not want to do, and instead you just give in without considering your own needs, this is a violation of your boundaries. Also, if you respond to a request with criticism or negative emotions, instead of clearly expressing your limits, it can lead to negative feelings and unnecessary conflicts. Unhealthy boundaries also manifest when we ignore our own feelings to please others, which leads to exhaustion and frustration in the long run. Setting healthy boundaries is a process that requires self-awareness and the courage to protect our needs. It is important to learn how to say no and not feel guilty about it. When we do this with respect and understanding, we not only protect our emotional health, but also show others clearly that they too have the right to their own boundaries. Healthy boundaries are not about being selfish, but about being able to set clear limits and live in alignment with our values, which ultimately ensures quality relationships and well-being for everyone involved. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content.